Imagine being incredibly wealthy. A life where everything you desire is at your fingertips. But then, out of nowhere, you lose it all. For most, such a catastrophic loss would be devastating, but not for Zeno of Citium. Once a wealthy merchant, Zeno experienced immense loss when his ship, carrying his entire fortune, sank to the bottom of the sea. Yet, from the depths of this loss, a new beginning emerged. Stranded in Athens after the shipwreck, Zeno discovered his true calling. It was here that he founded Stoicism, a philosophy that has endured and inspired for centuries, shaping the lives of millions. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships, it's about thriving amidst them, cultivating a mindset that transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Stoicism is much more than some ancient wisdom. It's a practical guide to living a meaningful life and flourishing in the face of life's inevitable challenges. When you think of a Stoic person, you might picture someone who shows no emotion, even in the face of immense pain. However, Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. Stoic philosophers such as Zeno of Citium, Epictetus, Seneca, and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius all experienced emotions, just like everyone else. Stoicism doesn't teach that we shouldn't have emotions, but rather that we should replace unhealthy, irrational, and excessive emotions with healthy ones by managing our emotions through reason and virtue. We should also accept that our initial emotional reactions, including the instinctual fight or flight response, are involuntary, and at the heart of Stoicism lies the principle of releasing things we cannot control. For instance, when a loved one dies, it's natural and inevitable to feel sad. What Stoicism teaches is not to worsen these feelings by dwelling on them excessively or allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed by sadness. Stoics don't suppress emotions. Instead, they aim to experience them in a balanced and rational manner. They acknowledge that death is an inevitable and natural part of life. Stoicism teaches that things beyond our control, such as death, are not inherently good or bad. Stoics refer to these as indifferent. This idea mirrors Shakespeare's words.
There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
While we often seek health, wealth, and success, Stoicism suggests they aren't necessary for a truly fulfilling life. So, what's the Stoic secret to a good and meaningful life? In Stoicism, virtue is considered the foundation for a meaningful life. There are 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom, Sophia, involves making the right decisions based on knowledge, experience, and rational thinking. It's about understanding what is within our control and letting go of what we cannot control. As Epictetus said,
"We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them."
Courage, Andrea, is the ability to take action in the face of fear when necessary. It's not the absence of fear, but the capacity to act despite fear. It encompasses not only physical bravery, but also standing up for our beliefs and values. Justice, dikaiosine, means doing what's right. For Marcus Aurelius, justice was the most important virtue, being the foundation for all others. It goes beyond treating people fairly and with respect. It's about doing what is right for both oneself and society. Marcus Aurelius emphasized,
"Whatever anyone does or says, I must be a good man."
Temperance, sophrosine, is about self-discipline and self-control. It also involves keeping emotions in check by being guided by reason rather than emotion. Marcus Aurelius advised,
"The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are.
For the Stoics, living virtuously means living in accordance with reason and nature. They believed that being virtuous was all that was required for happiness. In Stoicism, the pursuit of virtue is considered the path to achieving eudaimonia, which means flourishing or the good life. When Zeno of Citium lost his entire fortune in a shipwreck, the shock and despair he initially felt must have been overwhelming. Despite this, he didn't allow it to define him. Instead, Zeno used this moment as a turning point to establish the resilient philosophy of Stoicism. His ability to overcome adversity is captured in his powerful insight.
Man conquers the world by conquering himself.
Now picture Marcus Aurelius, not just a Roman emperor, but a symbol of Stoic virtue. His reign was marked by wisdom and justice, yet his personal life was shadowed by deep tragedy. He endured the unimaginable grief of losing not just one, but 8 of his children, along with his beloved wife. Aurelius channeled his sorrow into wisdom, writing thoughts like,
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength.
His personal writings in Meditations continue to be a guide for resilience and inner peace, influencing countless individuals across centuries. Among them is former President Bill Clinton, who reads Meditations every year. Consider Seneca, who was an advisor to the tyrannical Roman Emperor Nero. Every day, Seneca faced the possibility of execution, a constant threat that would have overwhelmed many. Yet, in this environment of fear and uncertainty, Seneca found strength and peace in the philosophy of Stoicism. Seneca's remarkable wisdom shines through in these words.
True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not.
Seneca lived true to these words. Even in the face of Nero's brutal order to take his own life, he embraced his fate with extraordinary calmness. And imagine being stripped away of all your freedom and having to endure life as a slave, like Epictetus, whose name means acquired in Greek. His journey began in chains, suffering under a master so brutal that his leg was deliberately broken, leaving him permanently crippled. Despite these hardships, he said,
People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them.
According to Epictetus, it is not the events that hurt us, but our perception of these events, and we have the ability to change our perception. Epictetus's life and teachings demonstrate that real strength comes not from our external circumstances, but from within. His journey from a slave to one of the most influential Stoic philosophers of all time is a testament to the transformative power of Stoicism. All these men could have been overwhelmed by their suffering and continued with a life of misery and despair, yet they didn't. Their stories show the remarkable resilience of the Stoics, who transformed their suffering into growth. Stoicism shows us that adversity is not merely to be endured, but to be used as a catalyst for personal growth. The Stoics believed that challenges and obstacles were opportunities to practice virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's through facing and overcoming difficulties that one can truly cultivate a resilient and flourishing character. We've barely scratched the surface of Stoicism. Subscribe for more valuable wisdom, and remember Epictetus's words.
It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters.